draft is finally over. Everybody is on their new teams. It was a crazy draft, bro. I would say this is the first time that I've tapped into the draft past the first 2 rounds in a few years. I can't lie and say that the Sheduer Sanders thing wasn't shocking, because it was. Like, I expect him to be gone within the first 10 picks, first 10 to 15 picks, because his draft stock started to fall. So after the third or fourth pick, I was like, all right, he definitely might be slipping down. The Saints quarterback pick with the Tyler dude was the most craziest thing that really let me know that, all right, this is something more than just, the surface level stuff. Because arguably, Jackson Dart was one of the top prospects at the quarterback position too. His draft stock grew a lot. Going closer to the draft, end of the season and then closer to the draft, his stock kind of rose. But he was already an established quarterback that was supposed to be a first, second round talent. So that's why whenever he got picked by the Giants instead of Sheduer with they early pick, it was kind of okay. The Browns is kind of and this is my thing with the Browns too, but we're gonna get to that. But they ended up going somebody else for their pick. They actually traded their number 2 pick away, and it's crazy because they could have low-key got Travis and Sheduer, but they decided they wanted to go another way. And the Browns actually had a really solid draft. The Panthers, the Ravens, all had a great draft. Obviously, the Eagles go and get anybody from Bama, Georgia, on their defensive, front or secondary or whatever. They're gonna get them Bama and Georgia, the best SEC talent. And it's when it comes to that, it's a no-brainer. I don't know why the Cowboys don't do that, but the Eagles, they haven't figured out. Just go get the top dogs from the SEC. And how do they keep getting the best defensive player, all that? It don't make sense to me, but they finna be stacked again this year. But all in all, man, the Sheduer Sanders thing definitely stole the show. And I really just wanted to get on here and talk about that, because it's the way that they kind of tarnished his name wasn't even all the way, I feel particularly Deion Sanders' fault or directed at Deion Sanders. I think a lot of it was, and they used that to kind of make his draft stock fall, because they knew that it would affect Coach Prime for sure. They knew it would affect Sheduer as well, but I want to say I like the way that Sheduer handled it for sure, because it's especially at his age, when you got people saying things about you that ain't necessarily true, or trying to pass judgment on you based off the fact of your pops, and just you being confident in yourself, it can be one of those things where you want to say so much, but his situation, I think he played it the best way. Even getting the prank phone call is just kind of super lame to do, because looking at it on the outside looking in, what if you was in the same situation and you waiting for your name to be called? First of all, you didn't already fail past what you're supposed to fall past. Your talent is a top 5 pick, but you got these analysts who want to remain anonymous but say all these things about you in the interview that really hurt your draft stock. And then all this other stuff going on, and I don't know, I just feel everything that kind of went on this whole weekend as far as Sheduer, and I feel the timing of it too, because that movie Sinners just came out, and it got a whole bunch of stuff in it that's just kind of symbolic of how the world is, how the system is, and just honestly how people treat people that look like us. You know what I'm saying? And it sucks, because as not even just a young black man or whatever the case may be, but just in general, I feel when anybody have any type of confidence, but especially black people, if you are confident in what you do and you actually put the work in and you have a resume that backs that up, people hate to see that you're confident and you are God-fearing, and you are actually putting yourself in a position to back yourself up of what you're saying. A lot of people hate that, and I don't even have to be just like I said, black people. But just people in general are uncomfortable with people being so confident or just believing in themselves, because most people are made to believe in this world that we live in, going back to just how we're conditioned to believe that we have to be extremely humble and we can't you know, give ourselves that nod of or boost of confidence in order for us to be able to work harder or be able to perform better, whatever the case may be, whatever the reason why you confident as you want to be. Obviously, it's for a reason. Maybe it's because you have the right to do it. Maybe it's because you perform better when you do it. Maybe it's because it make you feel good. Who don't want to feel good about this stuff? You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of a crazy thing to see that you have to be humbled in a sense when you have people like Baker Mayfield and Johnny Manziel and all these other cocky players who came before Sheduer and were still drafted where they were projected to be drafted at. Sheduer fell to the 5th round, which is insane. And it's kind of one of those things too. It's like, okay, well, you can say that, you know, Dylan Gabriel was a Heisman finalist, but he still slid to the 3rd round, or, you know, Will Howard just won the national championship and he slid all the way to like the 6th round. But as far as just like leading up to the draft, the reason why I say this was such a big thing is just that, like, bro, you got a dude who is broken, you know, records, who has won awards and was projected to be arguably the first quarterback taken off the board. You know, all these things, and they don't like the way he's talking or you feel uncomfortable about it. I don't even think it was all the way that. I feel like it was a combination of him just being confident, him being pro ready. He carries this, like his nickname has been grown for all his life because he's been mature. He's 23 years old, but you would think he like a 30-year-old just because his mannerisms and the way he carries himself and just the way he is. So I feel like, you know, they hate to see, like I said, somebody of his stature with his family background, you know, him being black, him being confident. It's easy to say, okay, we gonna diminish his character because it's easier to do that because of his skin color and just, you know, he got the jury on the Sanders family name and all that type of stuff. I just feel like it was easy to do it, and I know it hurt Sheduer a lot because, like, I used to have that dream of wanting to go and play in the NFL, but like anybody who chasing their dreams and, you know, you put in the work and you in the position where you deserving to be somewhere, and then you got people who are, you know, saying stuff about you or just doing stuff to make your dreams become far-fetched from what they were. Because he missed out on like 40-something million not being chosen in the 1st round, like those first 10 picks or whatever the case may be. Like, he slid all the way to the 5th round, and now he getting like $4 million, which is still a blessing either way it go. Like I said, like, it's not bad that, you know, he got drafted, but it's just where he got drafted at. He didn't deserve to be drafted at where he was drafted at. And you got people who are coming out and saying, well, this is the draft, man. Sometimes guys fall lower than what they were supposed to go. Bro, people only fall when there's a reason behind it. Every time there's been a talent that's been a top caliber talent, they've always went high where they were supposed to go. Or they maybe have went 2nd round, but it doesn't get no crazier than that. Like somebody who's in the Heisman conversation, who's, you know, top 10 pick type, maybe the first quarterback taken off the board type talent. Like, no, it doesn't usually go like that. Like, most people, like Will Johnson, you know, he was supposed to be a 1st round pick, but he slid because of an injury. Now that's different. Sheduer hadn't done anything wrong. You know, he had the press conference at the combine thing where he was doing his press and he was saying what he was saying, but everything he said was true, and it wasn't too arrogant or nothing like that. It was everything that he was supposed to be saying. I'm coming into a situation knowing that I might be a top 5 pick, so whatever team that I may be coming to is definitely a team that's trying to get over the hump and get back on the winning side of things. So he's saying, you know, don't get me if you don't want to change your program around, because that's my mindset. I'm coming in this thing looking to be legendary, looking to be great. Tom Brady is my mentor. Deion Sanders is my dad. I'm only accustomed to doing things to a high expectation and a high standard and at a championship level. So with me coming in with that mentality, you just telling me you're intimidated by that, and that just goes back to me saying too, like, they don't want us to be in a position to where we can speak confidently and speak with such, you know, confidence in ourselves that we're going to do what we said we're going to do. And, you know, as an owner and as a coach or anybody in the organization that's looking to draft a young player, like, why would you not want to see somebody with that type of mentality? Or just, why wouldn't you want to go and get somebody who's already been carrying themselves like a pro their entire life since high school? Sheduer Sanders moves like a pro. I heard one time that there was a guy who was riding around with Sheduer for the day when he was doing meetings or whatever, and he was saying how much Sheduer moved and acted like a pro, and he think he learned well from his dad because he was on time with things. He was well mannered. You know what I'm saying? So all this character stuff was BS. It was definitely something that was going on that they was trying to do as far as like, just messing with bro. But that's neither here nor there now. I feel like he has a good chance to win the starting spot. If not the starting spot, be a backup for sure. I mean, you got Deshaun Watson, who ain't going to play this year. They got 5 quarterbacks. Deshaun Watson, who ain't going to play this year. Joe Flacco, who pretty much has proven that he can go and do what he needs to do. So, if anything, he should be the starting quarterback for sure for them as of right now. But if Sheduer come in with that chip on the shoulder, motivated, and play how he's supposed to play, he gonna have a shot to ultimately take over the starting quarterback role, or at least be in a position to where if it comes down to either Joe Flacco not playing good or injury, he's gonna be ready to go in. Now, Dylan Gabriel is a good player too, but I feel like Sheduer can win out that quarterback battle versus him. Dylan Gabriel is a little bit undersized. He like 5'10", 5'11". Sheduer is like 6'1.5", 6'2". So Sheduer got a little bit of the more of the height advantage and more of the accuracy. I feel like he got more of the football IQ. So it's just gonna be interesting to see. And Shiloh ended up going to the Buccaneers. He signed as a free agent, but I just feel like, man, like at the end of the day, when it comes to just how stuff is in the world, bro. If you really look at the world nowadays, the world is shitty nowadays, but in all different aspects. But just watching this draft just let me know it's crazy, because you got grown men and people of all walks of life around the world who love to come in and join in on the excitement of somebody else's downfall, and they try to say, well, he's cocky, he's arrogant, he needs to be humble, this, that, and third. Like, he ain't never said nothing where like I'm better than the program, nothing like that. Everything he said, he's been humble about. And you look at the last 2 seasons that he had at Colorado with the trashiest O-line in college football, and he was still able to put up the numbers he was able to put up. On top of that, he wasn't even pointing the finger at his O-line at all, when they was really the ones to blame for a lot of the sacks and punishment that he took. So just taking all that into account, bro, with all he had to go through, and then just to see the way they doing, it was really hard to watch. You know what I'm saying? Just from the outside looking in, because it's like I watched the family YouTube channel, his brother Bucky. I watch their videos all the time. So I watch him and Travis from the Jackson State days all the way through their college career, and I just watch their personality, and they all good people, man. Travis, Sheduer, Shiloh. So this character stuff that they be throwing, even on Dion, like Dion is just unapologetically him, and I feel like that's why most people love him. Not only just black people, but people in general, they love him because he a good person at heart, but he still got that Florida to him. He still got that Dallas to him too, but just like that black persona, like how black people talk and how we relate, like he has that about him, but he knows how to intertwine that and be universal and be able to adjust in any room, but not even adjust because he's authentically himself, but just being a good person and doing it with his own type of swag and his way. Yeah, man, it's just always been like that from the beginning of time, man, since we was always slaves. They ain't never want us to be free for real, so any time we shining, man, they gonna try to find a way to dim our light, and that's just always how it's been for us, man. So yeah, that's pretty much gonna be it for this video. Y'all let me know what y'all think about the whole Sheduer thing, man, and just how it transpired. Like I said, I already know for a fact that it's deeper than the whole football thing, and just like I said, I done seen Sinners, and I done saw this, and I'm just like, man, everything that's been going on in the world lately, bro, you just always start to look at stuff in a different perspective. At least I do. Like, I actually be just paying attention to what's going on around, bro, and it's really always been like that. Like, even back to Adam and Eve, man, like, it's just been, so bad out here as far as how people do you, man. Like, the prank call too, man, that's just crazy. And I don't even know how they got the number, but that's just crazy to think like somebody really, in today's age, like the whole trolling era, like people really thought it was funny to try and prank call and act like somebody from an organization, knowing that this man is live streaming, they recording for NFL Network watching or whatever, they waiting for that moment to happen. It's just all type of family, friends, loved ones around, and you gonna call and act like somebody from a team. Like that's like the ultimate disrespect. That's the lowest of low. And like I said, like Sheduer is way better than like a lot of people would have been in that situation, because it's like, bro, you gonna try to basically, he did get embarrassed, but he handled it with his chin up and his chest out, and I feel like everything he said in his responses was what he was supposed to say. You know, I'm pretty sure off camera they already they said what they said behind closed doors, as far as like how they was getting hold and all that other type of stuff. So yeah, man, it's just like I said, it's crazy to see, but at the end of the day, you know, God worked out in their favor, and you know, them boys is still in the league. So at this point, you know, it's just gonna be good to kind of watch and see how it all unfold and see what happens. The Browns, man, they had a pretty good draft day, but then they got 5 quarterbacks. My thing is too, is like, why not just draft Sheduer in the 3rd round? You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all already have all these quarterbacks. I can kind of get to why they got Dillon Gabriel and Sheduer, because they have such bad history with quarterbacks. It's like, okay, now you didn't win and had such a great draft and getting pieces all around for the team to just add to that stacked defense that y'all got. But the only thing that y'all are really missing is just the quarterback situation. You know, that's always been the downfall of the Browns. Y'all been building this defense for the past few years, and they've been performing. Now you got, you know, guys who are set in stone, who are still at a pretty young, decent age. So now you're going to add a couple more pieces to that already good young defense, and then you come in and you add, you know, Judkins to your offense, and you got Jerry Jeudy, and you got all these other pieces, and Joku and stuff like that. So, you know, the quarterback is the only thing they missing. So why not go and get 2 high caliber quarterbacks in the later rounds to add to your veterans that you got? And you got 5 quarterbacks who have some type of name to themselves. Now we're gonna see who's gonna want to win the job, who's gonna be capable enough to lead the team and do what they need to do to win. So like I said, it's gonna be interesting to see. I'm glad Sheduer and all them got through this whole process, and I want to say it was good seeing all of the Colorado players that balled out this year go to the draft, man, and get picked up. I was happy to see Jimmy Horn get picked up. LeJounte got picked up. Will Howard got signed. Shiloh got signed. Sheduer and Travis obviously got drafted. So, and Cam Simon Craig, he also got signed too. He going with Travis to the Jaguars. So, and that boy JJ got signed from shout out JJ, man, from the city. He going to the Jaguars too. So it's just like a lot of people that I just watched play over the years. They got their chance to fulfill their dream today. So overall, you know, I just like seeing draft time come around and just see people with their families and they be happy in that moment. That's why that prank call thing I keep going back to is like really bugging me, because it's like I couldn't imagine being with my family waiting for the call, and then I'm getting blackballed, and then you gonna prank call me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm already got all these emotions going on. But like I say, he handled it perfectly. I don't know how I would have handled it in that situation, but that's kind of really tough to think about, man. Just, oof, like actually having to live through that's tough. So, you know, I definitely give Sheduer credit with that, man. And yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and quit rambling, because I've been said I was from the end of the video. But that's gonna be it for this video, man. I appreciate y'all for watching. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe on the video, man. I'm gone.